So I've got a bunch of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different signs that a woman is not making it easy to see you. And I'm going to go through these different signs because I want to help men understand that if a woman does any one of these 6 things, you need to move on. You might get guys in the comments, depending on how popular this video gets, it's like, well, bro, you know, if she comes up with like an excuse or if she reschedules and you just ignore her, there is some truth to that. Like if she cancels a date and or tries to reschedule, depending on what she does, then you should move on. I mean, to start right now, if she cancels but then reschedules with the later date, well, then try to see her on that later date. So let's get into it, man. Let's not waste some time. So first one, if she won't hang out, then move on. That one should be so obvious. If you're a guy that's just now learning about like how attraction between men and women work, well, you might not understand that. I can look at my past behavior when it comes to like talking with women. I've asked girls to hang out and they've told me no. And then I'm like, all right, well, I'll just keep talking to her. And then maybe in the future, if I keep talking to her, she'll want to hang out with me later. And it usually never works out like that. Women, like, if they like you, women don't have a lot going on in their lives for the most part. They will make the fucking time to see you. If you ever ask a girl to hang out and she says no, I am at the point now where if I ask a girl one time if she wants to hang out and she gives me something that is not, yes, I'd love to. So this could be anything. This is where like her making an excuse comes in. But if the girl, for whatever reason, doesn't agree to wanting to hang out, that's it. You're never going to hear from me again. I'm going to move on. You guys ever studied the guy named Doc Love? He's where I think all like the gurus got this from. He says 1 chance per woman per lifetime. And when I adopted that philosophy, bro, it has made the drama and the stress in my life on dealing with women so much better. Next one, if she says maybe to hanging out, move on. In fact, I think I might even have a video or like 3 on why you should never say or why you should never agree to maybe dates. I was at Yard House drinking a beer with like just me and my dog and I was getting him some fries and I was having a beer because I was like, well, I'm gonna go out and hang out by myself. And I posted that on my Instagram story and this girl, and I've tried to hang out with her before, super hot girl. And she was like, why don't you invite me? Well, I was like, hey, if you want to go to Yard House, why don't we get together? When are you free next? She goes, well, I've got my, this girl is the fucking queen of coming up with excuses, bro. God damn, man. Every single time I've asked this girl to hang out, and it's only been twice. So this time, she brought up hanging out first, which is the only reason why I even asked her to hang out. She was like, well, I have my kid with me this week, maybe next week. And I told her, I said, I don't agree to maybe dates. So when you figure out your schedule, let me know. And sure enough, she said, okay, sure. And I never heard from her. So if a girl says maybe, like maybe I'll see you later in the week. So the reason why girls say maybe is because one, if they say maybe, they're like semi-agreeing with you so they don't have to avoid conflict. If you're a guy that's going to be like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't want to hang out with me? They'll say maybe to kind of like keep you on the hook. It's also possible that she could have something else going on with a different guy, and if that doesn't work out, that's when she'll agree to see you. But if that's the case, well, we want to be a first priority. We don't want to be the second priority, the second pick. No thanks, bro. I don't agree to maybe dates. So if a girl says maybe, just say, hey, you know what? When you figure out your schedule, let me know, but I don't do maybe dates. I will literally say that word for word, bro. Tell this girl I do not agree to maybe dates because she's going to waste your fucking time if you agree to that. Next one, if you get ignored, then move on. Here's another story with a different girl. So I ended up getting this girl's phone number, or I gave her my phone number. And then I think a day later, she ended up reaching out to me first. So I met this girl on Facebook. We started talking, hitting it off. She was asking me personal questions. So I was like, okay, I'm in. If a girl ever asks you personal questions, that's a pretty good sign that you should ask for her number or ask her out. So this girl asked me a personal question. I immediately was like, yeah, we should get together. And then I gave her my number. She texted me. And then I immediately tried to set up a date for the weekend. And she was like, oh, I can't do that, but I would love to get together. These days typically work for me next week. So I was like, all right, cool. I will reach out to you next Monday to plan a date with you later that following week. She was, okay, sounds great. And then I reached out to her that Monday and I never heard from her again. Never heard back from her. But she watches every single one of my stories that I post on Facebook because my Instagram goes to my face. Watches every single one of them. She just ghosted me. She's watching all of my stories. So she's keeping tabs on me, but she ignored me. So I'm moving on. And it's so funny because I even posted a story the other day where I'm like, dude, I actually brought up that example, but I wasn't talking about her. I was like, if a girl ghosts you or ignores you, like, that's it. You're done. You're cut off. And she watched that one. So hopefully she picked up on that. And then I'm moving on. Now, next one, if she cancels and doesn't reschedule, then move on. So I remember I talked about this at the very beginning of the video. If a girl, a lot of girls, a lot of women, dude, fuck a lot of women will say yes to hanging out, and then they will agree on hanging out with you, and then when the day comes, they are surprised, they're gonna cancel. So women don't want to hurt your feelings. It's easier for a girl to just agree to a date with you, and then when that time comes to cancel, because when she agrees on a date, remember, guys have conditioned women where if a girl tells a guy no, the guy's gonna like freak out. What do you mean you don't like me? So this is why women behave the way that they do. But if she, and also too, women act based on how they feel. So if she's feeling like ugly during the day that you're supposed to hang out, there's nothing you can do, dog. If she don't feel good, then she's gonna cancel. However, if she does not reschedule with a very specific day or days, then tell her again, okay, well, when you figure out your schedule, let me know. Because if she cancels but does not reschedule, she doesn't want to see you. All right, next one, moving on. If she's confused or unsure about you, then move on. I had a girl that I reached out to on Facebook that was really down to hang out. I mean, I remember when like she reached out to me, hey daddy, it's blank. And I was like, this girl's already throwing out that word daddy. I'm like, hell yeah, this is gonna be a blast. And I don't remember like the whole gist of this conversation because this happened like several weeks ago at this point in time. But I do remember that I asked her to hang out and she was like, well, I got to figure out my work schedule. I should be available maybe in the next couple of days. I don't know if she said maybe. Basically, what it came down to was, okay, well, when you figure out your schedule, let me know tomorrow and then let's plan a time to get together. Because she did say she would get back to me the next day. Tomorrow comes around. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. This bitch is calling me when I'm like trying to sleep, so I don't answer. And then I get up at like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. I might have been 5 or 6 if I'm thinking. And I text her. I'm like, hey, I was sleeping. And I was like, but do you have any news for me? And then this girl all of a sudden is like, oh, I just think you're just too good of a guy for me. I don't think this is going to work out. I'm really ghetto. So you see what she's doing here? She's being like, not confused, but just like unsure. So this is her way of like, not sure if she wants to hang out. I don't know if that, and this girl's messaged me a couple times on Facebook, which is really annoying, but I don't entertain her at all. So this girl agreed to hang out with me, and then now all of a sudden she's saying stuff like, oh, you're just too good of a guy for me, I'm too ghetto for you, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, if you're confused about hanging out, yeah, we've never met in person, and this girl's already saying things like, I'm too good of a person for her, but yet the day before, she was already calling me daddy. When I look back at this girl, I think I dodged a fucking bullet, if I'm being honest with you. This girl likely would cause so many different issues down the road. I think this girl still posts about, like, her ex-boyfriend sometimes, and I'm like, all right, well, you know what, I think I did dodge bullets. So she's like confused or unsure. Example I gave you wasn't anything specific about being confused. I would say more so on like the unsure side of things. Just move on, bro. If she's saying stuff like that, she's just trying to come up with an excuse. And then the last one, so many guys fuck this up, and this is why I kept this one for last. If she friend zones you, then move on. Holy shit, man. The amount of guys that will agree to be friends with the girl. I used to do this. That's why I can say this. I used to do this because I didn't know any better. If a girl friend zones you, bro, there's like a 99% chance you are never getting out of that. Unless you move on, you stop talking to this girl, and then if her situation with another guy or her feelings for you all of a sudden creep up, she might come back around. There was this girl, I'm not going to say her name, but fucking dime, man. So she's 23, I'm 29, and her parents and I get along really well, and that's how I ended up meeting this girl. She's not like the biological kid, but she lives with the family. The mom is the reason why I met this girl in person. I ended up going over to their house, hanging out with them. Fucking loaded family, dude. And I remember I asked her out the next day. I asked her out, and she was just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm enjoying our friendship so much. I really don't want to ruin it because it's been so fun." And we've only hung out for a day. She was like, "I just want to keep this very professional as well. So let me know if that works for you." And I was like, "That doesn't work for me." I was like, "I'm not interested in being your friend. So if you change your mind in the future, give me a call." So I stopped talking to her. You got to look at this right here. She wants to be friends, but you want sex and romance. So if you agree to being friends with this girl, well, you're not going to get sex and romance. You're giving her what she wants. And a woman's not going to respect you if you don't stay in your fucking boundaries and say, no, you're not interested in that. 2 weeks go by, this girl and her friend that she lives with, the actual child, they both view my stories on Instagram. And then this girl that friend zoned me added me on Instagram. I didn't add her back because I'm like, I'm not gonna play this game. I'll act like I didn't even notice it. And then she started watching my stories consistently because she was keeping tabs on me. But I never heard from her again, and she never reached out. And it's been, I think, 2 months at this point in time, 2 or 3. Will I hear from her in the future? I mean, it's possible, bro. But at this point in time, I haven't spoken to this girl in so long that I doubt that. If I would have agreed to be friends with this girl, likely I would still be able to see her. But I can tell you from experience, I still would not be like having sex with her or being in a relationship with her because she made it very clear that she wanted to be friends. It's your job to go and find a girl that wants to give you what you want, and that's sex and romance. It's your job to find a girl that wants to be with you in a romantic way. Don't settle for these girls that just want to fucking friend zone you. No, you don't want that. Dating's a negotiation. You both need to say, yeah, I want sex and romance together. Yeah, I'll be your girlfriend. Yeah, I'll be your boyfriend. But you can't have that if one party says, no, I don't want to do that. That's just negotiating 101. So if you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And listen, if you're a guy right now trying to get better at pickup, dating, and relationships, bro, I just came out with a new 17-page like cheat sheet that's designed to be looked at when you're in a situation with a girl that you don't want to mess up. I'm selling this right now for $13.99. There's such, I made this affordable for everybody. There's a video on the next page that explains why and then what this thing's actually going to do for you. So if you think that's something you want to check out, click the link in the description down below. And listen, if you like this video, man, you're probably going to like this video as well. Go ahead and click on that, watch that. And with that being said, guys, hey, see you in the next one.